on Bernie.
But on both.
Bernie
on
just
both.
doesn't realize
Well,
it.
and Bernie's losing votes to Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah,
she is.
I mean, her lift is at Bernie's expense.
Yes.
And I think she's got a lot of pressure on her because she's got to excel because she's the big deal in the first night. But it is going to be interesting to see if Biden can pivot. You know, will he take the incoming and try to respond, or will he be able to rise above it and pivot? If I were on his team and I were advising him, I'd say pivot, 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 pivot.
Weird.
Don't engage. Pivot, pivot, pivot.
If you pivot that many times, you're just going to be going in circles.
No, he won't. No, he won't. Not if he does it right.
I mean, with that short amount of time, Claire, I've got 6 things to say. If I have 6 minutes, and you can ask me seriously about anything, I'm going to brush it off in 5 seconds and deliver my 55 seconds and pivot.
Correct.
Like you're saying, right? If they bring up abortion, which they'll bring up abortion, he can pivot. If they bring up Anita Hill, he can talk about how terrible it was and gee whiz, blah, blah, blah. However, he does that in 15 seconds and pivot. Isn't that the key?
That's exactly right. And he needs to pivot to the things about Joe Biden that everybody loves. The big smile, you know, I am a regular guy. I know who you are. I see you, and we can have a brighter future together. And if he does that kind of messaging, and hopefully they're practicing, so he's had some discipline.
To your point, Joe, no matter what the question is, Joe Biden has to do a variation of the following. I understand what you're talking about, but this is the moment. This is a critical moment right now, and talk about the moment and the future. Past is the past.
I also think it's critical that he doesn't apologize so much. I mean,
Correct.
he will need to for Anita Hill, but for the crime bill, I mean, I think Americans will like somebody forceful to say, okay, for those of you who weren't alive in 1991 and 92 and 93, during the crack epidemic and after the crack epidemic, you don't know what we were going through. We did our best at the time. And was it perfect? No, it wasn't perfect. But if you had been there, doing nothing wasn't an option. So, yeah, it looks bad. I wish we hadn't had to do it. But you know what? I was there. You weren't. I did my best.
And I'm wiser and understand more now.
Exactly.
And that's the
I learned.
advantage he has. Yeah.
I agree. It should be interesting. Susan